Asking rents here in New York, $120 up to $1,200 a square foot rent. So know the market of what you're gonna pay so you'll be able to understand what you're paying in rent. I'm Colby Piper. I am the head of the cannabis division at Ripco. A quick background about Ripco. We'll make it quick. We're the leading independent retail leasing and investment sales firm here in the tri-state. We have 5 offices, which are New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Florida. I practice in all 5 of those states, specializing in cannabis real estate for my team. A little bit about me. I've been a realtor now about 10 years, and we opened the cannabis division because I realized that the plant was more personal to me than what I see to everyone else. My father here in New Jersey was the head of the ER. He's born and raised South Bronx, got a job in New Jersey. He ran the ER, and he was first of 100 doctors to prescribe cannabis in New Jersey. My mother is a 4-time, 4-form opioid and cancer survivor. So to see the plant take care of her life and change it from negative to positive, in the 36 years I've been alive, the plant is more personal to me. So I want to make the world a greener place so everyone can have access and we can change more lives with the plant. My partner that runs the division with me is Darren Chandler. Darren Chandler, he has 5 licenses here in New Jersey. He'll have his license here in New York. He's the president of Premium Genetics. So when it comes to real estate, we really understand both sides of the fence. So I'm on your side as well as on the real estate side. Here in New York, we do have a new company coming out called Mad City Canna. We're a card license winner, so I'm on both sides of the fence. Really quick, we could go to the next slide. Again. So when it comes now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. When it comes down to real estate and finding your location, right? So you have to think as if you are McDonald's, or if you're Shake Shack, or if you're Target. Look at these major nationals. They all run around with the same trends. If you ever look in a given market, all the stores, all the retail stores are zoned, are all in one section. Everyone thrives off the competition and everyone else is together. So when you go to look at your retail location, let's say you want to choose, become a retailer, let's go Fordham Road. Go to Fordham Road, have a seat on Fordham Road, go there during the morning time, go there in the afternoon, go there at night. Really understand the market is what these national retailers do. They have companies and wherewithal to actually not actually have to go to the road, but for all of us, go to the road and figure out, yeah, I want to be on this corner because I see 15,000 people walk by because I sat there and counted it. So get familiar with your actual given market of where you want to be, and location is actually important. Obviously, we know you have to find your location in order to apply. So that's typically how that goes. So you got to get out on the ground and scope out your location. Find some. Do some digging on the website. Find out your demographics. If you're in a market where incomes are very low at $20,000 or $30,000, how can your business perform if the income is low at that given market? You maybe want to be in a higher market with higher incomes. It's something that you guys will see as you move forward. Next slide. So when it comes to finding the real estate, there's multiple hurdles. The number one hurdle in real estate, finding the real estate, is the lender on the property. Majority of the properties here in New Jersey and New York are owned by the bank. The bank does not allow the landlord to lease to a federally illegal operation. Because of the good old RICO charge, the bank could be wrapped up in the RICO charge as basically money laundering. So the number one hurdle is to find a property that is owned free and clear without a mortgage so you can actually transact and become the tenant of that property. The next hurdle is to find a cool landlord that's willing to accept the use. That's another hurdle. The reason why it's a hurdle is because it's very risky for the landlord. This has never happened in the history of the cannabis space being open, but technically the feds can come and seize the property from the landlord because he's technically operating in a criminal enterprise. So it's very risky, which has never ever happened before, and we'll never see it happen. But ultimately, it's very risky for the landlord. So in order for the landlord to want to play ball with you, you have to make it somewhat more feasible or more beneficial towards him. So it's kind of sad on our end because the landlords calls our shots. But ultimately, as the stigmatism of the plan and we make the world greener, landlords will become more acceptable to it and not hit us with this cannabis tax that everyone talks about. Next slide. So then the other thing come to is zoning. In Long Island, specific towns say you're only allowed to be in certain sections of the given town. So what they do is the townships are zoning cannabis to be in the way, way back in the industrial section that's scary, that no one ever wants to go through, potholes on the road. How's your grandma gonna go get her weed in the middle of the industrial sector, right? That's not the safest place for us to go purchase weed. You got 18-wheelers driving like, any way they want to do. But that's what some of these municipalities are zoning, because they don't want it up in front. So us as a community, we have to explain to the municipalities that we are retailers just like Shake Shack, just like Target, just like your barbershop. We are the same as them. Ultimately, we are also pandemic proof, and we're an essential business. So it's like a medical operator when it comes to talking to your landlords. The state can't shut us down if we go through another COVID, and we're also medical, so we'll be there forever. The amount of money that we spend in our build out, we're not moving locations to move the lease. We're doing to expand and open up location number 2. So we're gonna be there for a long time, landlord, so let's make a deal. That's one of the things there. Then get out into your community and get familiar with the community boards and the neighborhood boards here, and say what you want to do and what is that neighborhood specifically missing and how you can help them. It makes it a little bit easier when getting approval from your community boards. Next slide. So obviously, like I said, you have the retail properties. The retail property is obviously your typical brick and mortar store that you go to. The average size of the dispensary across the country is about 4,300 square feet, plus or minus. Obviously, some of that space is not used all for selling. It's used to stack the line, so you don't have too many lines outside. And then when it comes to construction and build out, depending on the level of build out you want to do to your space, on average what we see, people are putting 250,000 to 550,000 in the space, given on the square footage. If it's a larger square footage, you could be upwards to $1 million, $1.5 million. It all depends on your negotiation with that cool landlord to see if he's willing to give you some, what we call in the real estate world, TI, it's called tenant improvements, meaning the landlord will pay to improve the property for you to have it ready for you to move in. That's retail. So we'll go to industrial. Industrial is where the money is. That's the cultivation and manufacturing. These facilities normally cost lots of money. They're averaging between $350 and $450 a square foot to build out these cultivation facilities. That's lighting, securing a property, security, HVAC, everything you need to run those. So it's very expensive on the industrial sector. What we see in the industrial sector across the tri-state, so you guys can get familiar with it, the going rent for cannabis in the industrial sector in the tri-state is anywhere between 15 and 20 bucks per square foot. If you're over 20, you are a little bit high, but if you're at 20 bucks, you got a good deal. If you're below 20, take it and run with it. The next slide. So that's pretty much the industrial sector there for you guys, so you can understand how that works. Obviously, there's farmland. We could grow greenhouse and things like that. Next slide, please. So how to start the opportunity and strategy to find the real estate. First, like I said, do your research. Find out which actual license you are applying for. And then obviously build off of that. So if you're applying for a retail license, like I said, go stake out those retail corridors that you want to be and count the cars, count the people, talk to the business owners, how's their business doing? Get familiar with the market and see how people actually move in the market so you can better understand if you can grasp any of those clients walking on the street. Next, obviously, you have to hire the right broker, which is obviously me, to help you with negotiation. So you hire the right broker that understands the zoning, that provides you properties that are already zoned and approved and ready for cannabis. So you guys don't have to go through the battle of calling or knocking on doors, speaking to landlords and getting told no 500 times a day. I'll take on those burdens. And then you also have to take the initiative, like I said. So not only do I have to find the real estate for it, but you guys need to do the back end is reaching out to your community boards and figuring out what the community is missing and what do they want, and ask them and provide a solution to their problems. They'll be more accepting to you in the community if you do that. Next slide. So this is the one everyone should take a picture of. These are asking rents here in New York, depending on the market that you want to be in. These are the market that the landlords are asking. So what you all can do is start to budget based off these square footage numbers of how much you are going to pay per month in rent. Okay, so if you're in Manhattan, depending on you are in Manhattan, you got $120 a square foot rent, up to $1,200 a square foot rent. And if you wanted to go crazy and get on Luxury Row, which is Madison Avenue, Fifth Ave, it's closer to, let me see here, to another $1,200 a square foot, or up to $2,000 a square foot. So know the market of what you're gonna pay, so you'll be able to understand what you're paying in rent, and then it will help you back into your business plan of breaking down your pro forma of what can be done. So this is a good slide. Take this slide. This is what market is going. I would budget for the highest number here, because if you beat it, you're doing a good job. Knowing that it's cannabis, we don't get too many deals when it comes to leasing from the property, so I would budget for the highest. And if you budget for the highest and you come under it, you know, you guys are all winning. Next slide. So to reach out to me, here's my Instagram. Here's my partner Darren's Instagram. We're a Black-run division. We're here for the people, and we're making the world a greener place. I'll be here for the rest of the day. Come speak to me. Hopefully I can help you guys out. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Colby.